Okay, this is just a quick video about the new Crema Coffee Products Tamper and Distributor Tool for the Flair Espresso Maker, specifically the Flair Signature model. So this is the 39.25 mm version, the smaller guy. So this just came in the mail, looks real nice, feels great. This is some really well-made gear. But the purpose of this video is to show you the problem that jumped out to me right off the bat, which is in the adjustability of this adjustable tool. So you can unscrew this and do the twist to dial in your distributor height, and do the same for your tamper height. You can go all the way out here. Unfortunately, if we try to go all the way in on both sides, let's do that and bring it together. This is as shallow as this tool will allow you to go. And that's a problem. Probably for most Flair users, I would assume. If you're familiar with the Flair Signature, at least in this smaller basket that they offer here, that's the standard basket for the Signature, you're probably used to grinding doses that are between 12 maybe, but 13 to 16 grams. And depending on the coffee you're using, that probably means that you are putting coffee in this basket that almost comes up to the rim, because you don't have a lot of space to work with, and you probably don't want a baby shot from this small portafilter. So if this looks familiar to you, then this is probably relevant to you. This is for the coffee I'm using, roughly 15 grams or so, coming up kind of near the rim. So you can see the issue here is that if this is as shallow as you can go with the distribution side and the tamper side, you can't really do your job of dialing in, letting this rest, spinning it or flipping it, and tamping it with any sort of control. This is just gonna mash all of your coffee. Thankfully, there is a bit of a workaround, which is to use the funnel that came with your Flair to sit right on top. I'm not gonna do this right this moment, but you can set that right on top. It's just seated, and then put this on top. This gives you, this is the shallowest setting here, this gives you enough space, enough play to where you can actually unscrew, kind of dial this into how you like it, and then once this is seated, then you have the correct height to actually properly distribute or flip, dial that in, and adjust the tamp to how you like it. So you'll be tamping through the funnel like that, and that's pretty well seated in there. If everything's flat, then that should work okay. It seems like the people at Crema, the people who make this, have acknowledged this issue for several people. So over social media, they've mentioned the idea of building some O-ring or spacer tool that will adjust to accommodate people who run into this issue, which I would just guess is most people. That's nice, but it's kind of annoying, right? Like, I would ideally like this funnel to do its one job, and then this specialized tool to do its one job. It is a niche tool for a niche piece of coffee gear, so having to use other tools to actually make this, serve its function is kind of annoying. So that's what that's about. I'll just add on here as well, compared to the original tamper, this is a slightly better fit. You may be familiar that this particular stock tamper with the Flair, there's a bit of play, it kind of rattles around in there. This isn't like a perfect, precise fit, but there's definitely less play, so that is something I appreciate about it. But anyway, not a whole lot of options for Flair users out there, especially for this kind of thing. There are some custom-made tampers on Etsy, I guess, but this is something you may want to consider if you've got a Flair Signature. I can't speak to the Pro model, but especially for the Signature, you'll want to consider that if you are thinking about this particular product. Okay, let's wing it. Let's actually just give this a shot here. So again, this is what this looks like. Kind of uneven. I could even something like that. I've got this as shallow as it can go, I'll put the funnel on here. Don't really have a great angle of this, but let's just see what happens if this is all seated here and I give this a little spin. Okay, there might be a little bit of contact, but that means that we've got some room to actually go out further. So let's go out just a little bit further. Might be too far. Try it again. You can see this is seated pretty well. If you got both hands on this, this will be fine. Tiny bit more? Who knows? I'm new to this. Whoop. You get the idea. Just for good measure, let's even try tamping as well. So this is our, can we focus here? This is our clearance. And this is, let's get this as shallow as possible. Let's get this on. And, is that right? There we go. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so this just bottoms out instantly. So that means we've got play. This is not tamping. Yeah, we're not touching that yet. So that means we can pull it out a little bit. Definitely some trial and error involved. Maybe even more. Yeah, I can see that's doing its job just a little by little there, so. Even more? No, I'm gonna try even more here. Let's just really do it. Yeah. It's working.